5 players that hate Rory McIlroy. If controversy had a face in modern golf, Rory McIlroy would be front and center. The Northern Irishman isn't just one of the best players on the planet. He's also one of the most polarizing. Behind the major championships and the charm are rivalries that turned personal, feuds that got ugly, and relationships that imploded in spectacular fashion. Some respect him, some despise him, and a few, they absolutely can't stand him. Let's jump into the 5 players who genuinely seem to hate Rory McIlroy, one rivalry at a time. Patrick Reed, the Ryder Cup nightmare. If there's one player who truly seems to despise Rory McIlroy, it's Patrick Reed. Their feud exploded into public view during the 2016 Ryder Cup at Hazeltine, and it's never really cooled down since. Reed, playing for Team USA, went head-to-head with Rory in singles matches, and the tension was electric. Reed put his finger to his lips, shushing the European crowd after sinking putts. The gesture was aimed at Rory's wife, Erica, who had been vocal in supporting her husband from the gallery. "She was chirping at me all day," Reed said after the match. "I just wanted to return the favor." Rory fired back, calling Reed's behavior ridiculous and saying it crossed a line. What started as competitive fire turned into genuine animosity. The 2018 Ryder Cup in Paris only made things worse. Reed and Rory were involved in heated exchanges throughout the week, with Reed claiming Rory wouldn't give him the time of day when they passed each other. At one point, Rory allegedly said something to Reed that neither man has publicly disclosed, but Reed's reaction made it clear. He was furious. "Rory and we don't like each other," Reed admitted later. "That's just the way it is." The feud reached peak absurdity in 2021 when Reed's lawyer sent Rory a cease and desist letter over comments Rory made about Reed's rules violation at the Hero World Challenge. Imagine hating someone so much you get your lawyer involved over golf banter. That's where these two are at. Reed has since joined LIV Golf, putting even more distance between them, but the bad blood remains. When they're in the same room, you can feel the tension. And honestly, neither one seems interested in fixing it. Sergio Garcia, the broken friendship. This one hurts because Sergio Garcia and Rory McIlroy used to be close friends. They played practice rounds together, hung out off the course, and genuinely seemed to enjoy each other's company. Then LIV Golf happened, and everything fell apart. Garcia joined the Saudi-backed league in 2022, while Rory became the PGA Tour's most vocal defender, ripping into LIV players for chasing money and abandoning the tour that built their careers. "I hate LIV," Rory said bluntly. "I hope it goes away." Garcia, feeling personally attacked, fired back. He accused Rory of being self-righteous and hypocritical, pointing out that Rory himself had flirted with the idea of joining a breakaway league years earlier. The friendship imploded. At the 2023 Ryder Cup in Rome, the two barely spoke. Garcia, who had been a European Ryder Cup legend, wasn't even selected for the team, a decision Rory reportedly supported behind the scenes. "Rory used to be a friend," Garcia said in an interview, "but when you see someone's true colors, it changes things." The betrayal runs deep on both sides. Rory feels Garcia sold out for money. Garcia feels Rory became a corporate puppet for the PGA Tour. There's no middle ground here, no reconciliation in sight. What was once a genuine friendship is now a cold war, and neither man seems willing to extend an olive branch. It's one of the saddest rivalries in golf because it didn't have to be this way. Brooks Koepka, the Alpha versus Alpha battle. Brooks Koepka and Rory McIlroy don't hate each other in the traditional sense, but there's definitely an edge to their relationship. Koepka has never been shy about taking shots at Rory, questioning whether he's mentally tough enough to win majors. After Rory's collapse at the 2011 Masters, Koepka made comments suggesting that Rory lacked the killer instinct required to dominate in the biggest moments. "Some guys just can't handle the pressure," Koepka said in a 2019 interview, seemingly aimed at Rory's major drought. Rory fired back by pointing out his 4 major championships compared to Koepka's 5 at the time, saying the competition between them was closer than people think. But Koepka kept needling him. When Rory struggled with injuries and inconsistency, Koepka made passive-aggressive comments about players who talk a big game but don't deliver. The dynamic shifted when Koepka joined LIV Golf in 2022. Suddenly, Rory had another angle to attack. He questioned Koepka's legacy, suggesting that joining LIV tarnished his accomplishments. Koepka, never one to back down, responded by saying Rory was obsessed with LIV and needed to focus on his own game instead of worrying about what other players were doing. "Rory talks about LIV more than anyone on LIV talks about it," Koepka said with a smirk. The 2023 Ryder Cup added fuel to the fire. Koepka wasn't eligible to play because of his LIV status, but he made it clear he thought the U.S. team would have been better with him on it, implicitly taking a shot at Rory's European squad. These two are alpha competitors who respect each other's talent, but can't help throwing jabs whenever the opportunity arises. It's a rivalry built on ego, competitiveness, and the inability to let the other guy have the last word.
Now on the tee, please welcome from Florida, the 2018 and 2019 PGA champion, Brooks Koepka.
Greg Norman, the LIV Golf War. Greg Norman doesn't just dislike Rory McIlroy, he's made it his mission to discredit him. As the CEO and face of LIV Golf, Norman has positioned himself directly opposite Rory in the battle for the future of professional golf. Rory has been LIV's most vocal critic, calling the league a money grab, funded by Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund. Norman, in turn, has accused Rory of being a hypocrite and a pawn of the PGA Tour. Rory needs to wake up and realize the tour is using him, Norman said in a 2023 interview. He's their mouthpiece, and he doesn't even see it. Norman has repeatedly tried to recruit Rory to LIV, reportedly offering him an astronomical sum, rumored to be upwards of $500 million. Rory turned it down flat and then doubled down on his criticism of the league. Norman took it personally. He's made several public comments questioning Rory's loyalty, his motivations, and even his relevance in the modern game. Rory had his moment, Norman said dismissively, but the game has moved on. The animosity is compounded by the fact that Norman, as a player, never won the career Grand Slam, something Rory could still achieve. There's an undercurrent of jealousy mixed with genuine ideological differences. Norman sees Rory as an obstacle to LIV's success. Rory sees Norman as a sellout, willing to take Saudi money without regard for the sport's integrity. It's a clash of generations, philosophies, and egos, and neither man is backing down.
Rory, last month you created a bit of a viral moment when you said my 21st PGA Tour title won more than somebody else. That somebody else clearly being Greg Norman. Greg Norman's quite dramatically been disinvited from this week's 150th celebrations. Are you quite relieved that he's not going to be here given the circus that he's been creating?
Yeah, look, I think it's the 150th Open Championship, and that's what we need to focus on. And I think the focus would have been taken away a little bit if he had been here. So, yeah, I mean, I supported that decision, and I think right now, because of everything that's happening in the golf world, I think it was the right decision to be made. But if things change in the future, or whatever happens, who knows? But I could see a day where he's certainly welcome back. But right now, just with everything going on, we want the focus to be on the 150th Open Championship, and this being a celebration of a wonderful golf tournament and a wonderful game in general. And I think it was the right decision for that.
Bryson DeChambeau, the slow play king. Bryson DeChambeau and Rory McIlroy's rivalry is less personal and more about fundamental differences in how they approach the game. Bryson's methodical, science-driven style has made him one of the slowest players on tour. Rory, who prides himself on playing quickly and keeping the game moving, has been openly critical of Bryson's pace of play. "It's painful to watch," Rory said in 2019 after playing with Bryson in a slow round. "The game doesn't need to be that complicated." Bryson didn't take kindly to the criticism. He defended his process, saying he's simply being thorough and professional. But the jabs kept coming. When Bryson joined LIV Golf, Rory used it as another opportunity to criticize him, suggesting Bryson took the money because he couldn't handle the pressure of competing week in and week out on the PGA Tour. "He's better suited for 54-hole exhibitions," Rory said, twisting the knife. Bryson responded by saying Rory was bitter and stuck in the past, unable to accept that golf was evolving beyond the PGA Tour's traditional structure. The two have clashed in interviews, on social media, and even through subtle digs in press conferences. Bryson thinks Rory is arrogant and close-minded. Rory thinks Bryson is insufferable and overthinks everything. Their rivalry isn't as explosive as some of the others on this list, but there's genuine dislike there. When they're paired together, you can feel the awkwardness. They don't make eye contact, don't engage in small talk, and generally pretend the other person doesn't exist. It's a cold rivalry, one built on stylistic differences and fundamental disagreements about what the game should be. Conclusion. So there you have it. Reed can't stand him because of Ryder Cup drama. Garcia feels betrayed by his stance on LIV. Koepka resents his holier-than-thou attitude. Norman sees him as the enemy of progress, and Bryson just finds him annoying. Did Rory intentionally make all these enemies? Probably not. But his outspoken nature, his willingness to take sides, and his refusal to stay quiet have made him one of the most polarizing figures in golf. Some see him as a hero defending the integrity of the game. Others see him as a hypocrite and a corporate shill. Either way, these rivalries are real and they're not going anywhere. What do you think? Which player hates Rory the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.